Hello students, welcome to my another session of paper immunology from TYBSc microbiology. Today we are going to see another aspects of innate immunity. But before that, let us see what we have seen in our previous session. In our previous session, we have seen one more humoral component of innate immunity, that is complement. So in complement, we have seen that these are the soluble proteins which are come in the action by the cascade-like fashion, but before coming in the action, they are present in an inactive form. But once they are get activated, they activate their further partners and brings about the cell lysis and other type of the immune responses. Especially they carry out the cell lysis, activation of phagocytic cells and other type of the cytotoxic cells of acquired type of the immunity and innate type of the immunity. So in the mechanism we have seen that complement is get activated by classical pathway, alternate or properdin pathway or lectin type of the pathway. As well as we have seen the different types of biological effects of complement activation. Now let us see what we are going to see in the today's lecture here. So in this session we will see the another mechanism that is called as a inflammation, which is also one of the mechanism present or working in the innate immunity, and how inflammation acts or works that we will see in detailed type of the manner. So let us see this interesting mechanism step by step. Now the learning objective for this today's session is that here to state why or how inflammation is important for the human body for repairing the tissue damage, and study the mechanism of the inflammation in detail. Now what is the inflammation? So it is an important defense mechanism in the host, especially in the vertebrate organism, to prevent the different type of the infection. And this mechanism is induced in response to the damage which is caused to tissue, this damage is caused by microorganisms or by their toxin or by the different type of the mechanical injuries. That mechanical injuries may be the cut or maybe the piercing or the injection or the abrasion or the burns. So by any one mechanism, when there is a disintegration of intactness of that tissue may be outside, that is the skin, or maybe the inside tissue is there here. So this intactness is a very important property of the every tissue to maintain its health. And when microorganisms want to cause any type of the infection, they must disintegrate the intactness. And if by any one of this mechanism, if this intactness has been damaged, then they got the easy entry or easy access for causing their infection, and due to that vertebrate organism may come in the danger, or that part may come in the danger. That's why in innate immunity, the inflammation has provided such a type of the defense mechanism to repair the damaged tissue by performing the variety of mechanism in concert. So for the prevention of infection, this inflammation is important in nature here. Now this is the slide that shows what happens in the inflammation. So at your right side, what are the signs or what are the characteristics of inflammation are explained in the below picture here. So when the damage takes place, what happens? The very first thing takes place when the damage takes place here, the redness is taking place. In the clinical language, it is called as a rubor. After the redness here, that area is get swelled, and that swelled area is called as a tumor. After some time, we can feel the warmth or the hotness of that area. That characteristic is called as a calor. After that, you will start some pain, to feel some pain in that area. That paining is called as a dolor. And after that here, functiolasia is taking place here, means in that area here you will not feel any kind of the sensation, or that part temporarily or maybe permanently stops working. That's why loss of function is taking place, which is called as a functiolasia. So this process is commonly taking place in a sequential type of the action, and if such kind of the signs or characteristics if you see, then you can definitely say the inflammation process is going on. Actually, all these are the indications for the repairing of the damaged tissue which are taking place step by step, which can be characterized from these signs and the symptoms. Now this inflammation may be acute or may be chronic. What do you mean by acute here? That is, it is immediately responded in that area of that type of the damage and immediately get repaired. Very few time it is required for the repair. That's what is called as a acute. And chronic means if it is a major in nature here and taking the longer time to heal that tissue or to show this for longer period of time, if these symptoms are shown, this indicate the chronic type of the inflammation here. So in the acute type of the inflammation here, we can simply say the allergic reaction, chemical type of the particular irritation by the action of chemical, infection is there here, the injury caused by the different type of the trauma, burns, laceration, cuts, wounds, okay, or first bite. So that the temporary inflammations are there here, means within a week you can get that things are repaired or got done. But the processes like cardiovascular disease, neurological diseases, autoimmune diseases, rheumatoid arthritis, cancer, lupus erythematosus, fibromyalgia. So all these are the chronic or they are lifelong type of the inflammatory process. Means in that area, the permanent injury is caused and body is continuously engaged to healing that type of the damaged area, and due to that here we feel such kind of the particular characteristics like redness, swelling, heat, pain, loss of function, etc., like this way. Such type of the inflammation is called as a chronic type of the inflammation. Now in this next slide, let us see how the inflammation basically takes place. So in this picture, the example is given about the inflammation of the injury which is caused to that skin. So toward the right, you will find the skin has got damaged, maybe by the cut or by the injection here. So what happened here? The whatever the microorganisms or particles, soil particles, dust particles which are present here, they got the entry. Means at first the wound is caused, and along with that wound, that particles, that bacteria, that microorganism, they got the entry. And when the wound is caused, there is a disintegration of that tissue is taking place. And that due to disintegration here, some chemicals are secreted by that microorganisms extracellularly and by that tissue, and this chemical itself are acting as a signal. And this gives a signal to the variety of the particular cells of the innate as well as the acquired immune system, but among that the phagocytic cell, mast cells and the dendritic cells are always at the leading. So they leave their blood circulation, what are the blood capillaries which are flowing in that area, that blood capillary they ooze out, and they started to wander from that blood capillary and gather toward the area of injury and forming the protective barricade around the type of the injury, so that they don't allow that microorganism to progress further. Especially macro and macrophages, which are non-specific in nature here, they immediately catch them up, carry out their phagocytosis, carry out the intracellular digestion. So due to that here, no more further progress in the infection takes place. At the same time, the other type of the mechanisms which are non-cellular in nature here, they also get activated here, where these macrophages secrete some chemicals, or the complement or other type of the mechanisms are PAMPs or DAMPs are get activated, which are called as a humoral type of the defense mechanisms here, and they prevent the further infection of the type of the microorganism, so that no more further progress in the infection taking place. So this is a general idea I have just given to you. Let us see in detail what is happening in the inflammation step by step here. So let us see the steps of inflammatory responses. The first step, inflammation cannot start unless and until the damage to that tissue is taking place or intactness of that tissue is not taking place. So the first step is a tissue damage, and after that, immediately after damage, release of histamine from that tissue here. Already I told you how the tissue damage is taking place. It is caused by toxins, microorganisms, or by mechanical injury here. So by this damage itself are responsible to release the histamine from the type of the area of the inflammation or that tissue damage. When the damage takes place, at that time, what happens here? The next step takes place, vasodilation. So this histamine which are secreted from that damaged tissue or from that microorganism, they act onto the surrounding blood capillaries. What are the blood capillaries which are supplying the blood in that towards that type of the tissue? Okay, so that they get activated by this action of histamine, and they started to contract and dilate. The purpose behind the contract and dilation is to increase the blood flow. Why to increase the blood flow? To increase the supply of this different type of the cells as well as a different type of the soluble type of the humoral component at the type of the area. That's why it is called as a vasodilation. Simply it is called as a increase in the blood flow. When the vasodilation occurs, already I told you, the blood flow, its speed is decreased, and due to that here, the neutrophils, which are called as a phagocytic cells are there here, they get the chance to settle at the site of infection because they are moving, they are circulating through the blood. But by this vasodilation here, what happened here? Due to slow blood flow here, what happened? This wandering neutrophils are there here, they started to gather there. Their movement is ceased and they settle at the site of infection for not allowing to progress the microorganisms which has entered during the course of that tissue damage here. Now, third step is called as there is an increase in the permeability of that blood vessels. What happened in that increased permeability here? So the histamines, we have done the vasodilation process here. They increase the permeability of the blood capillaries. Means they widens the walls or the pores of that blood capillary. And what happened due to that? The blood started to leak out, especially from the blood, the fluid portion, they started to leak out from the type of the blood capillaries. And what happened due to the leakage here? It results in the accumulation of the fluid at the area of that injury here, and that's why when the fluid is get accumulated here, the swelling is taking place here, and this swelling is called as a edema. After this swelling here, there is a further increase in the permeability is taking place here. So what happened? Same for the vasodilation and increased permeability here, histamine aggravate this type of the mechanism here, that it increases the permeability of the blood capillaries, then leads to the leakage of the fluid from the blood capillaries here. Now after that, the extravasation is taking place. Means within the few hours, the neutrophil which migrates towards the site of the tissue damage by the process of chemotaxis. What is chemotaxis? That is the attraction of cell towards the chemical which are secreted by that microorganisms or by that damaged tissue, especially histamines and different type of toxins. And what happened? Due to this chemotaxis mechanism, so they passes through the capillary wall and enter into the tissue spaces. And this process of this entry is called as a extravasation here. This extravasation is taking place in the 4 steps. The first, the neutrophils are rolled, attached loosely to the endothelium, means the inner wall of that blood vessel, by low affinity interaction between the glycoprotein, mucin, neutrophils. This molecular interaction is taking place here. Then the activation of chemotactic stimulus is taking place here, where the chemokines, one kind of lymphokines cell secretions are there here, are secreted and neutrophils are attracted at the top of the area, and they arrest and carry out the attachment of such ligands like the ICAMS ligand and integrin type of the protein, and they stabilize, they firmly attach the neutrophil at the site of the endothelium. And this firmly attached neutrophils, they carry out their transendothelial migration, that neutrophil enters to the endothelium layer. And after that, when they enter to the endothelium layer, what happens here? The next step takes place, that is called as a phagocytosis. The mechanism of phagocytosis already we have discussed in our previous session. So neutrophil, they perform the phagocytosis, they form the pseudopodia, engulf that microorganism, take them intracellularly, and in the lysosome the different type of the oxygen dependent and independent mechanisms are taking place here, and digestion, intracellular digestion of that microorganism, that takes place. But during the course of intracellular digestion here, from the microorganism, from the disintegrated part, okay, there is a release, this cell release the different type of the particular molecular mediators, as well as from along with the microorganism, this cell also synthesizes this different type of the molecular mediator, and they contribute to this inflammatory responses. So these mediators who activate the inflammatory response, a variety of inflammatory responses are there here. Among that, the one mechanism which is taking place, that mechanism that it activates the different type of the effector cells that are responsible to disintegrate, kill or destroy this type of the microorganism which has invaded to that type of the injury here. Now the next step after this taking place is the inflammatory response. So as the inflammatory response develops, there is a secretion of the various cytokines and inflammatory mediators. They act onto the endothelium of the local blood vessels. Local means at the site of the injury. They along with that, they increase the expression of the cell adhesion molecules, that is the CAMs, and epithelium is then said to be the inflamed here. Now neutrophils are the first type of the cells to bind to the inflamed endothelium and extravasate, means they further migrate into the type of the damaged type of the tissue here. So this is the whole process of inflammation is shown in the number type of the form from anticlockwise, where in the number 1, through the knife, when example is given, the injury to that skin or the tissue part takes place with the help of the knife. When the knife pierced, okay, tissue damage takes place, and whatever the chemical composition of the knife, whatever the dust particles which are present on the knife here, they contain the chemicals here. And these chemicals are such like the particular histamines, okay, kinins, prostaglandins, leukotrienes, okay. So they are released by the type of the damaged cells. Immediately by this action, these chemicals are released here, and at the same time, the blood clotting mechanism also get activated, that we will see in our next type of the lecture here, where the further blood supply is not allowed to flow. So that blood loss will take place here. The damaged arteries or vessels, blood vessels are there here, they are further prevented to bleed here, because blood is very important in nature for the life of the type of the organism here. That's why to prevent the further loss of the blood here, the blood clot formation is taking place by the clotting or the hemostasis type of the process here. And in that area, the tissue fluid which is started to accumulate here, that is called as a abscess, where the swelling, due to accumulation here, the swelling actually takes place here. And due to the chemicals which are secreted by the microorganism and by the chemical action of that knife here, the vasodilation process takes place here. And what are the blood vessels who are supplying the blood in that type of the area of the damaged tissue here, the phagocytes which are present in the blood vessels, they started to migrate here, and during the course of migration here, they stop their movement from the one place to other place in that blood vessel here, and they adhere onto the endothelium, the inner wall of that blood vessel here. After that, whatever the gap which is present in between them, the extra vasodilation takes place here. The blood, so that in between the two gaps here, these neutrophils or phagocytic cell started to ooze out. And they, after oozing out here, they leave the blood circulation here and settle in the type of the tissue area, damaged type of tissue area, where they are not a part of the blood here. But when they settle, so whatever the microorganisms which are present in that area, so they capture the microorganism, and by the process of phagocytosis here, they digest that microorganism. So due to that here, though they enter into damaged tissue here, that microorganism no more further cause the infection or further serious type of the damage to that damaged type of the area. But at the same time, the repairing mechanism starts. That different type of the chemicals which are secreted here. So the new epithelial cells are synthesized. They are again covering the type of or they join the particular that damaged area. Then blood vessels again started to reform, and again the blood supply become the normal in nature here. That is a regeneration type of the process is taking place here. And whatever the dead tissues which were present at the time of the damage here, they form a scab, and they are removed in the form of the thick type of the black type of the coating here. We call them as a tissue repair. Means again there is a normalization of the original normalization in the form of the original tissue is taking place in the after type of the inflammation here. And after some weeks you will find that whole the damage area again become the normal in nature here. Again in this slide you can see this type of the process step by step type of the manner for your further type of the understanding in detail here. Now let us see, so all this about the inflammation here. So in summary, we have seen in the today's session that what is meant by the inflammation. In simple language, tissue damage and repair or the type of the tissue damage to prevent the further type of the infection here. And its mechanism we have seen, how the mechanism takes place in 5 to 6 steps, right, from damage to repair, means the healing type of the process here, how it is taking place, that we have seen the detailed type of the manner here. So in next session, we'll see the role of inflammatory mediators in the working or operation of inflammation process, because these mediators are playing a very crucial role to repair the damaged tissue. So we'll see in our next session. Thank you very much.